I first started having problems with my heart when I was about 17, so it was about 6 years ago. And I do a lot of sport. I train quite a lot. I train about 6 times a week. And it seemed to affect me every time I did any exercise. I got multiple palpitations, so I had to constantly stop, and I went dizzy and felt faint, and I had to just stop what I was doing. So I had this for quite a while, and then I was referred to Karen Lipscomb at Bolton, and it also happened in other situations, like if I got worked up about anything, or if I was rushing and I was stressed out, I got palpitations, and it would just beat really irregularly and fast, and then slow and miss beats. And so I went to Karen Lipscomb, and she diagnosed me having right ventricular tachycardia, and she referred me to Dr. Fitzpatrick. And I had 2 ablations. I had 2 attempts at ablations. The first one, I had an EP study, and it was unsuccessful. And then I came in last July, and I had a successful ablation. So it's sort of, I've always wanted to do athletics all my life, and it's what I've been working towards. I train really hard. I weight train sort of twice a week, and I sprint and run and do a lot of jumps work. But it was just interfering so much in my life that I was having to stop, sometimes having palpitations like 30, 40 times during a training session. And it was just making me reassess what I was going to do with my life and whether I could carry on doing it, because it was just putting a lot of pressure on myself, because I was worried that something was going to happen, or I was going to black out, or sorry.
No, that's fine. So obviously it had an effect on your quality of life, didn't it? Hugely, because these are all important things in your life.
Yeah. I'd worked so hard towards doing it, and I could have gone on beta blockers, and I did do for a short time. But it was all about whether I could actually compete with having beta blockers, because they're a banned substance. And I actually spoke to Athletics Association. They said I could, but the actual effect of having the beta blockers when I was trying to compete, it was quite difficult to have any sort of enthusiasm and adrenaline rush. So it was. I made the decision to carry on, and I'm just really glad I did, because now it's successful. I competed 3 weeks after I had the ablation, and I actually missed training for about 6 weeks, and I did like 2 personal bests in 3 weeks afterwards. So it's just given me the chance to be on an even playing field and do what I've always wanted to do.
Yes, excellent. Now, the actual procedure of having the ablation, how did you find that?
Well, the first time I had it, I was put under sedation, and they couldn't find any of my palpitations. I had an exercise study earlier, and they'd catched my tachycardia on the ECG, and so the second time we decided that I wasn't going to actually be sedated, because my particular palpitations came about when I was under sort of in stressful situations, or I had adrenaline, or so being in the sedation, we decided that it was Dr. Fitzpatrick talked it through with me and decided not to have any sedation, to try and put myself in a bit more of a stressful position than I normally would. So it was fast. I got local anaesthetic on my leg, and you couldn't feel it at all when you're having your EP study. When you actually had the ablation, it was like a sort of a burning sensation in your chest, but it wasn't horrendous, or the pain. It wasn't bad pain or anything like that, and it went quickly. I think we did 2 ablations, and afterwards, you have to lie down afterwards for a period of time, and I just had sort of a bit of soreness around my chest, and that week was a bit sore around. It was just a bit tender, like sort of around my ribs, but apart from that, it was fine. And we sort of knew straight away. I did an exercise test this following morning, so I couldn't have been in that much pain. So we did an exercise test the following morning, and I didn't have any palpitations. So we had an idea that I'd been successful, but obviously I had to wait until I was sort of well enough to do some training to see whether it was to see whether it was